On to health news now. A local organization that helps families with the emotional side of a cancer diagnosis, inviting you to a special whiskey and wine event. It's coming up on November the 2nd, and it's sort of addressing that emotional side of cancer. They provide counseling, wigs for hair loss, a kids camp, family support, all kinds of things after a diagnosis. Now, those diagnosed with cancer, such as Stephanie McElhaney, know that there is a whole other side of breast cancer. She was diagnosed recently, got great clinical care. She received it at St. Elizabeth Healthcare. But she said shortly after her diagnosis, during a discussion about the future, her daughter said something about her wedding. Here is that and some follow-up from Cancer Family Care from our What's Happening in Health show.
And all of a sudden she looked over at me and she was really panicked. She said, "Well, Mom, you're going to be here to pick out my wedding dress, right? You're going to be here. You're going to be okay, right?"
But it's also the family members. So as we all know, cancer or any serious illness is a disease of the whole family. And so everyone is affected by it.
It's my sister, and unfortunately she got that diagnosis that nobody wants to have. I have stage 4 lung cancer.
Wow.
And it's been, Cancer Family Care has been so great to help her process and figure out what's next, how to deal with a wig, anything you can imagine. But not only just for my sister, but for her family as well.
Yeah.
Her husband, her children, to help them really process and figure out how to make their lives better with this terrible diagnosis.
We also have a children's program where we help kids that their parents or grandparents are struggling with cancer. And the kids are just not sure. We as adults don't know. So how do we expect our 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds to know how to deal with the emotional side?
So here's the info. The Whiskey and Wine event, Saturday, November the 2nd at the Manor House in Mason, begins at 6 p.m. and you can make a reservation at local12.com. Mary Horn, who you saw there, is a wine, how do you say it, sommelier? Sommelier, okay. And she is known for that. She said this is what they call an everyday wine. And I kind of love that she said that, because wine was intended not to be, guzzled in that, but there's some thought that, a glass a day, if you have a heart history or things like that, may be helpful. So she left this for us to at least have a little scent. It is a red wine. And one of the things about this event, she'll be there serving to sort of represent some of the people there, because you heard her say that cancer is in her family as well. And she was telling me that just by the scent, she can tell, the fine wines or how good they're going to be.
See, I'm not a wine drinker. I am going to be at that event. I'm hosting it alongside Paula, our dear friend. So we'll both be out there. It supports such a great cause. And anything with wine.
Oh, so I wanted to talk
whiskey.
to you about it, because you're going to have such a good time, and it is for such a great cause. And they just, in our community, there really is nothing like this, where you have someone diagnosed, and she said, my daughter's asking me questions about the rest of her life, and I don't have the answers. Where do I go? And they have counselors and things like that. They have stuff that supports the kids. The kids go to camp and they can talk to each other, because the fear of cancer and maybe it coming back or mom not being there is really real. It's a great organization.
They are an amazing organization. They do a lot of great work. So I'm happy to be out there and lend my voice to that wonderful event.
Yeah, that's why we wanted to chat with you. And some great fine wine and whiskey, November 2nd, local12.com.
It's taken all I have not to have a sip of this, but we got 2 more hours of news to do.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Well,